Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Bhante.
Good morning, Bhante.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bhante.
Now, many people may still be enjoying July 4th vacation. That may be the reason so few people are attending this Dhamma talk, listening to Dhamma talk. Anyway, today I want to talk on this topic, a great question that you also find it in Anguttara Nikaya, section chapter 10. So this is how it goes in the sutta. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jeta's Grove, Anathapindika's park. Then in the morning, several bhikkhus dressed, took their bows and robes, and entered Savatthi for alms. It was too early, then it occurred to them, those bhikkhus, it is still too early to walk for alms in the Savatthi. Let us go to the park of wanderers of other sects. They are not rivals, even though they have different opinions with regard to their religions. They were not hostile towards each other. And therefore these monks wanted to go to other sects of wanderers. Then those bhikkhus went to park of the wanderers of other sects. They exchanged greetings with those wanderers. And when they had concluded their greetings and cordial talk, sat down on one side, and those wanderers then said to them, so they welcomed them and asked them to sit down. They sat down, and they said to them, friends, ascetic Gautama teaches the Dhamma to his disciples in such a way as this. Come, bhikkhus, directly know all phenomena, dwell having directly known all phenomena. We too teach the Dhamma to our disciples in such a way as this. Come, friends, directly know all phenomena, dwell having directly known all phenomena. What now is the distinction, the disparity, the difference between the ascetic Gautama's teaching of the Dhamma and our teaching, between these instructions and their instruction, between our instruction and their instruction. And those bhikkhus, they have very carefully listened to what they said, and without those bhikkhus, then those bhikkhus neither applauded nor rejected the statement of these wanderers. Without applauding and without rejecting it, they rose from their seats and left, thinking we shall find out what the Blessed One has said to say about this statement. Then, when those bhikkhus had walked for alms in the Savatthi, after their meal, on returning from their alms round, they approached the Blessed One, paid homage, and sat down on one side. And then they reported to the Buddha, "Ye Bhante, in the morning," and so forth, what had happened, they reported to the Buddha. And then after that, the Buddha said, bhikkhus, When wanderers of other sex speak thus, they should be answered in this way. A question about one, a concise statement about one, explanation of one. Question about two, concise statement about two, an explanation of two. A question about three, concise statement about three, an explanation of three. Question about four, concise statement about four, and explanation of four. Concise about five, conscious statement about five, and the explanation of five. A question about six, concise statement about six, the explanation of six. A concise question about seven, concise statement about seven, an explanation of seven. A question about eight, concise statement about eight, an explanation of eight. A question about nine, a concise statement about nine, an explanation of nine. Question about 10, concise statement about 10, and explanation of 10. If wanderers of other sex were questioned thus, they would not be able to reply. And further, they would meet with distress. Why? For what reason? Because that would not be within their domain. I do not see anyone, because in this world with its devas, Mara and Brahma, in this population with its ascetics and Brahmins, its devas and humans, who could satisfy, who could give satisfactory answer to these things? Nobody. Except who? The Tathagata, the Buddha. Then Buddha explained this. When it was said, question about one, concise statement about one, explanation of one, with reference to what was this said. Now Buddha questioned these bhikkhus and three positions. That is the question, concise statement, and explanation. Three things. And Buddha repeated the question. And then Buddha said what in reference to what he said this. When bhikkhu is completely disenchanted with one thing, completely dispassionate towards it, completely liberated from this, completely cease its delimitations, and completely break through its meaning, in this very life, he makes an end of suffering. What one thing? All beings exist through nutriments. When a bhikkhu is completely disenchanted with this one thing, completely disenchanted towards it, completely liberated from it, completely cease its disenchantment and completely breaks through its meaning, in this very life, he makes an end of suffering. Now, this statement, let us go through this and see. How can he be disenchanted, completely disenchanted in one thing? That is through one thing. What is one thing? That all beings depend entirely on nutriments. In Pali, it's called nutriments. Pali calls ahara. Ahara, the meaning of ahara means, it's a verb. Ahara means bring. Something that brings fruit, results, is called ahara. That means there are 4 kinds of aharas. Even it is, in general, we call all of them ahara. All the 4 we call, in Buddha's teaching, call ahara. All of them brings something to existing body. That is gross food, kabalinkara ahara, phassa ahara, mano sanchetana ahara, vijnana ahara. Kabalinkara ahara means food, solid food of various type of solid food. Then phassa is contact. Contact also is called a food. And mano, thought, also is food. And consciousness is food. And all beings, even those who are in asanyasat. Asanyasat means the body exists without perception. Body exists without perception. That means when somebody meditate and attain the 4th jhana, and then after 4th jhana, that individual thinks, meditates on the danger of conscious, danger of mind. When they have mind, there will be problem, and therefore they want to stay without mind. And then in that state, they stay almost like hibernated for a long period of time. Even they need food to exist. What is the food they need? They take. When Buddha said all living beings need food, and even these beings who are without perception, asanya sattva, they also need food. What is the kind of food they need? They get, they consume. That is the jhanic pressure, jhanic pleasure, jhanic peace. That itself is called jhana sukha. In that state, they can stay for a long period of time. And even they need food. But when even they, before Buddha attained enlightenment, they were there. Even after attainment, they were there. But they also need food. And then bhikkhus completely disenchanted with that. How can they be disenchanted with that? Because he sees them impermanent, unsatisfactory, fading away, disappearing, cessation, dependently arising. They are conditioned, and they are not them, theirs. They are not themselves. They are not their soul or what do you call it? permanent self, when they see this with wisdom, they will be disenchanted and completely disenchanted with that one thing. What is that? Disenchanted with food. And they will completely dispassionate towards it. No clinging, no greed for them. And therefore completely liberated from them. Their mind separate from craving. Now, food may continue, solid food, vijnana, thought, consciousness, all will continue without greed, without greed. And they are therefore completely, they know the limit, completely sees the limits, the limitations, and then completely break through its meaning. That they know with wisdom they break through, and in this very life they make an end of suffering. So, when they know that there is no greed, no desire, no passion towards food, whatever food, then they become liberated from greed. And in this very life, they attain enlightenment. They attain liberation. So when a bhikkhu is completely disenchanted with this one thing, completely dispassionate towards it, completely liberated from it, completely sees its limitations, and completely break through its meaning, in this very life he makes an end of suffering. So Buddha repeated, when this was said, question about one, concise statement about one, an explanation of one, it is with reference to this that this was said. Or that is with regard to one. Now let us go through the others very quickly, because if we were to explain all these things in detail, it will take a very long time. Then, when it was said a question about two, concise meaning about two, explanation of two, with reference to what was this said. When a bhikkhu completely disenchanted with two things, completely dispassionate towards them, completely liberated from them, completely sees their delimitations, and completely break through the meaning in this very life, he makes an end of suffering. These statements are repeated for each of them. I want to go through them very quickly. What are the two things? Name and form. Nama, Rupa. What is Nama? What is Rupa? Nama is Passa, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Manasikara, and consciousness. Contact, feeling, Passa, Vedana, Sanya, perception, Chetana, thought, Manasikara, reflection. Manasikara, reflection. And then consciousness. These are all together called name or mentality. Form is four elements. Earth, water, air, fire elements. And if one knows all these things, as it says before, he ends suffering in this very life. What is the three? The description is exactly the same. What are the three things? Three kinds of feelings. pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Actually, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral feelings have other part, the description, the qualities. For instance, pleasant worldly feeling, pleasant unworldly feeling, unpleasant worldly feeling, unpleasant unworldly feeling. Neither pleasant nor unpleasant worldly feeling, neither pleasant nor unpleasant unworldly. Now, worldly feeling, you know, unworldly means the feeling without greed, hatred, and delusion. There will be pleasant feeling without greed, hatred, and delusion, and there will be unpleasant feeling without greed, hatred, and delusion. You might wonder what is unpleasant feeling without greed, hatred, and delusion. Unpleasant feeling without greed, hatred, and delusion is the feeling, is unpleasant feeling, that you practice meditation following all the rules and regulations consistently, diligently, mindfully for a long period of time, and yet you would not attain high level of enlightenment like extreme entry. You have heard that somebody else practice and attain extreme entry in this very life, but you have not attained it. Therefore, you will be disappointed. That disappointment has nothing to do with worldly things. That disappointment, that dislike, or that suffering arises from not getting your state of enlightenment. That is totally spiritual. Nothing has to do with mundane thing. Okay. Similarly, neither pleasant nor unpleasant, neutral feeling. Also, when you see everything is impermanent, unsatisfactory, without self, your mind remains very calm, relaxed, and equanimous. That is called spiritual equanimity. Anyway, that is the detail, but there are primarily three feelings: pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral feeling. And then one knows all these things very clearly. One becomes disenchanted, dispassionate towards them and liberate. And they know the limit of them and complete. Therefore, they will break through the meaning and attain liberation in this very life, end suffering in this very life. Number 4. What are the 4 things? Number 4 things. 4 kinds of nutriments. 4 kinds of nutriments. In the first one we mentioned only one. In general, this place Buddha gives 4 kinds of nutriments. As we mentioned, 4 kinds of nutriments are material food, pasta contact, then mind, thought, and consciousness. And if somebody knows them very well, for instance, any kind of food arises, tanha, craving. Any kind of food, desire for food arising from craving. So one would know the craving is danger, then one become disenchanted with the craving, dispassionate with it, and then disappointed with wisdom, and then let it go. And that's how he ends suffering in this very life. Number next one, the 5 aggregates. What are the 5 things? 5 aggregates. And 5 aggregates also has 2 aspects. 5 aggregates of clinging and 5 aggregates. Here 5 aggregates subject to clinging. Mentioned here. 5 aggregates are subject to clinging. All living beings have that. But some individuals have only 5 aggregates, no 5 aggregates of clinging. Who are they? And Arhan, they have form without greed. They have feelings without greed. They have perception without greed. They have volitional formations without greed. They have consciousness without greed. And therefore they have 5 aggregates. They continue to exist as long as their ability to exist continues, they will be there. But they are not clinging to them. Other individuals, those who have desire, cling to the 5 aggregates. And even those who cling to the 5 aggregates, those individuals see this is not mine, netang mama, this is not myself, this is not I am. When he sees this, that individual will be completely disenchanted with 5 things. Completely dispassionate towards 5 things. Completely liberated from them, completely sees their delimitations, and completely break through their meaning. And in this way, in this very life, they make an end of suffering. That is how they separate 5 aggregates of subject to clinging and separate it from 5 aggregates. Now that's also important. They begin with 5 aggregates of clinging or 5 aggregates subject to clinging, but end up with 5 aggregates. The subject to clinging part, they dropped. They don't have any more desire. And that's how they end their suffering in the. So long as 5 aggregates of clinging exists, suffering exists. That's why Buddha said in aggregates, we say panchakanda, and then Buddha said dukkha kanda. Emetas kevalasa dukkha kanda samudayoti. In Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, in Four Noble Truth, Course of Suffering section. Now, what is the 6? 6 is 6 internal sense bases. 6 internal sense bases, including mind, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. These are internal sense bases. Internal sense bases also can be seen with wisdom. One would be disenchanted, dispassionate, and with the dispassion one would understand its delimitations and then break through their meaning, and in this very life one end of suffering. Attain arahatu through seeing the 6 internal sense bases. So there are many opportunities for us to attain liberation. And then number 7 is 7 states for consciousness. 7 states for consciousness. That is the high level of attaining jhanas, akasana vijnana chasi, akincanyana, devasanyana sanyayatana, and so forth. The long list of them, and how to attain them is another subject matter. But for now, you must remember there are 7 stations, 7 places that consciousness can exist. And that includes a state where there is no body, only consciousness. And there is another stage called no consciousness but body. These are another. Number 8, as I said, I want to run through this very quickly. Number 8, we all know 8 worldly conditions. What are the 8 worldly conditions? Again, loss, fame and defame, blame. And then fame and defame, praise and blame, happiness and unhappiness, labho, alabho, aiso, yasocha, ninda, pasansa, sukha, dukkha. These are the 8 worldly conditions. You know, even 8 worldly conditions themselves are enough for one to attain liberation. How can one do that? When he completely disenchanted with 8 conditions. Disenchanted. And completely dispassionate towards them. Completely liberated from them. Completely cease the delimitations. And completely break through their meaning. In this very life, he makes an end of suffering. Using the 8 worldly conditions. Everybody goes through that. And then number 9, what are the number 9? 9 abodes of beings. For hellish state, human, divine, and for Brahma realms. Altogether, there are 9 abodes of beings. They are called Ekokarva, Chatukarva, and so forth. Various terms are used in Abhidhamma and so forth. And even them, each of them completely disenchanted with the 9 things. How can they be disenchanted? None of these things is mine. None of this I am. None of them has self. Netang mama, neso amasi, neso atta. That means when you say this is not mine, you attack your craving, desire. When you say then I am not this, you attack your clinging, what you call a ditti, wrong view, mana, measurement, conceit. And then Nesvamasi, this is not myself, you attack your wrong view. You attack your craving, you attack your conceit, and you attack your notion of wrong view. And therefore, in this very life, one can attain liberation. What does one do? Using the 9 abodes themselves, no matter how long you live in there. Number 10. What is number 10? Unwholesome course of karma. Unwholesome karma. killing, stealing, sensual misconduct, lying, a slanderous talk, a harsh speech, gossip, and then wrong view, and wrong view, these 10. Pranatipas, Parabdhava, stealing, Michaditya, and so forth. Then these other 10, we all know them, very simple. Killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct, lying, and so forth, there are 8. Then denying the next life and wrong view. These are the 10. So friends, even if one knows these 10, and then each of them one thinks they are not anything. Killing is wrong karma, and when they see them, it's a danger, he becomes totally disenchanted with that. No desire whatsoever. When he disenchanted, he dispassionate towards it. Then he completely liberated from them and completely sees the delimitations and completely break through their meaning. In this very life, they make an end of suffering. That is certain. Now, when the Buddha, these monks reported to the Buddha the question those non-sectarian asked, the Buddha challenged, because they cannot explain this, the Dhamma in this way. Only the fully enlightened Buddha, who has totally liberated, who has totally disenchanted with this, totally dispassionated with this, towards this, and completely liberated from them, completely cease these limitations, and completely break through their meaning. And in this very life, he makes an Buddha in that state. Buddha in that state. Therefore, he can, from in his own personal experience, he was able to explain this. Others have not attained that state. Only the Buddha or his disciples who attain that state can explain these things in more clearly, in concise way and in detail. That is I have to say today, friends. And I think we have to end this session, and then we go to Dhamma, go to meditation. We need some time to meditate. Okay, let us do that now. Okay. Okay. I think we have got almost 20 minutes. Don't worry, at least we'll have short meditation. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, Even so, towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment, whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or whenever awake. One should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision. Removing desire for sensual pleasures, one comes never again to birth in the womb. With this, friends, let us spend at least 20 minutes in meditation. Okay? By means of these meritorious deeds, may I never join with the foolish, may I join always with the wise, until the time I attain Bhavana. May the suffering be free from suffering, may the fear-struck be free from fear, may the grieving be free from grief, so too may all beings be. From the highest realm of existence to the lowest, may all beings arisen in these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect peace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Although we started with metta meditation, let us end with metta meditation. May all those who are in hospitals suffering from various diseases taken care of by compassionate doctors, nurses, and hospital staffs. May they recover their health and return to normal life, and may practice Dhamma, practice meditation, and penetrate the truth and attain liberation from samsaric suffering. May all the doctors, nurses, and hospital staffs who are taking care of these people with compassion also find time to practice Dhamma, practice meditation, penetrate the Dhamma through wisdom, with wisdom, and attain liberation from samsaric suffering. May all those who have lost their loved ones may still be grieving. May they also find time to understand the nature of life and try to practice Dhamma, practice meditation, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all those who are in trouble spots, in war zones, and so forth, also find time to understand the human nature, nature of greed, hatred, and delusion, practice Dhamma, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. And may all those who are in the northern direction, northeastern direction, eastern direction, southeastern direction, southern direction, southwestern direction, western direction, northwestern direction, up and below, all of them find be well, happy, and peaceful. May all of them attain liberation and end their suffering. Okay, friends, that's all we can do for today, and see you tomorrow with compassion.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante. Sadhanai.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Long life, good health.
Thank you, Bhante.
Good noon, good morning. Different countries is different way. Okay, have a nice day.
Bye.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.